Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is brought to you by our friends at Fangoria Magazine. That's right, the first name in Fright since 1979 is now an affiliate of America's Hometown Horror. And because of that, we can now offer you an exclusive 20% discount on any first-time magazine subscription or merchandise purchase by heading over to shop.fangoria.com and using the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout. That's shop.fangoria.com/HometownHorrorPod, or just use the code HometownHorrorPod at checkout for that exclusive discount on anything from Fangoria. Tonight's episode of America's Hometown Horror is also brought to you by our friends at Horror Facts Magazine. Never heard of Horror Facts Magazine? Well, if you're a horror fan, they're a name that you absolutely should know. You can find them over at horrorfacts.com, and they're a great resource for all things horror, including news, reviews, editorials, and lots of other horror podcasts, not only limited to, but including America's Hometown Horror. So head on over to horrorfacts.com and check them out. Now, let's get on with the show. Hello, good evening. Welcome into another episode of America's Hometown Horror. My name is Mike, and I'll be hosting this journey through the horror world tonight. Here's where you can find us online if you're interested in such things. First place, our website, which is ahpod.com. It's ahhpod.com. You can find our blog on there, listen to our show, find out all kinds of interesting tidbits about the show, or some tidbits, I would guess. You can also find us on pretty much big tidbits, not big tits. You can find those on other websites for sure.
Like browsers.
You can also find tidbits and big tits on other social media platforms that we're on, including YouTube, Facebook, X, and certainly Instagram. They're all over there.
The way you said it, just so crass. What about big tits?
What about them big tits? We're doing a crass movie tonight, so
just search for America's Hometown Horror. You'll find us. You can also email us at hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com, and you can leave us a voicemail at 508-927-1267. That's 508-927-1267. And of course, the most important thing you can do for us here at America's Hometown Horror is subscribe to our show and leave us a review, preferably a 5-star review, on whatever platform you listen to us on. And thanks, as always, to our friend Sean O'Laughlin from Skywheel Media, who's now handling all of our audio and music production. And if you have a podcast that you're looking to take to the next level in terms of audio production, get in touch with us. We'll put you in touch with Shauno at Skywheel Media, who will be having a website together soon.
Are we still not doing voicemails?
Well, people have to call and leave voicemails in order for us to do voicemails.
Yes, exactly. If no one leaves a voicemail, way to make it real awkward.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Way to go, Kat.
Are you not gonna say the number if you want to leave a voicemail?
He said the number. Were
Twice.
you in outer space?
I was
during
outer
this?
space.
Kat was
yeah.
at the BBC earlier, so that's how this is gonna go.
Oh, okay. That explains.
I went
Yeah.
for one after work.
For those of you who do not know what BBC is,
Yeah,
it's actually a pub.
bar in Plymouth.
It's not what you think
It is not porno related. Anyway.
Not our second porn reference.
Yes,
It
you've
is
heard
a
all
bar.
three of these degenerates already. My co-hosts this evening, Andrew, Kat, and Matt. Lady, gentlemen, hello.
Hi.
Any other porno references we want to get off our
It's
chest?
funny. Well, Kat was drinking off the BBC earlier. What? Wait, what?
Kat was hanging out at the BBC.
Yeah.
Hanging off the BBC.
Hanging off the
Fuck are these guys?
I just went for a quick one. That's all.
No, I know.
I had a couple beers while I was cooking dinner today.
There
I
you
got a
go.
couple beers in New Bedford.
Nothing better than having a couple of drinks and making some.
He went to
dinner.
Sixes and Stones.
Sixes and sevens.
Yes.
Sevens.
Did you get food?
It's not sticks and stones. Sixes and
all right,
sevens.
that's close.
We ate at the Black Whale
Oh,
before.
okay.
I got a lobster roll. It was
In
good.
New Bedford, New Beige,
Bedford, then we went
the
to
Whaling
This is a
City.
good vibe, though.
Yeah, it was a very divey place. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's cool.
this is a nice brick walls.
It's fun.
All the tables are wooden. It was cool.
Different than Rose Alley, right? It's not Rose Alley
No.
renamed, right?
Oh, see, I thought it was the old Rose.
No, I thought
No,
it was
it's the
totally
old-
different,
It's the
right?
old cobblestone.
It's totally different.
Oh,
Okay,
gotcha.
all right.
Okay, cool.
I liked it.
Well-
cool pictures on the wall. Too.
That's some New Bedford stuff. Hey, guys. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers of Predator fame, and of course the Rocky
Amongst other
movies,
things.
amongst other things.
Happy Gilmore.
I can't. I'm not laughing at this. I'm
Yeah,
laughing at
Happy
the
Gilmore.
fact that on Saturday this happened, and Craig said to me, he goes, "Too bad about Bill Withers." I was like, Bill Withers. I was like, you mean Carl Weathers? Bill, you know the singer Bill Withers?
Yeah.
No.
Sitting on the dock of the
That's
bay.
No, that's Otis
Redding.
Redding.
That's Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Wrong guy.
Yes.
Who the fuck is Bill Withers?
See, that's what I said.
No, he does a famous song.
We are whiffing on all accounts.
He did a lot of famous songs.
What's his number one though?
Probably, what is it, Stand By Me?
I think that's
I hope he
BB
Or
James.
Lean On Me?
I hope-
Maybe Lean on Me? Not
Maybe we
Stand By Me. I think
Lean
it's
on
okay.
this.
Well, anyway, Carl Weathers died at age 76
Not Bill
peacefully
Withers.
in his sleep, according to his family, on February 1st, 2024. Appeared in over 70 films and TV shows throughout his career, of course, as Apollo Creed and Rocky, as we mentioned, and had the iconic, awesome buff arm shake or handshake with Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
in Predator, which is a movie that I absolutely love. So rest in peace, Carl
two of us?
Weathers.
I think he did.
Just
Ain't No Sunshine.
Lean on
Yeah.
me. Yep.
Saturday. That's
Okay.
what it's called, right? What a lovely day. Saturday.
Loving it.
Saturday.
Love
Is it
that
saying
song?
loving it? I thought he said Saturday.
There's lovely day.
Lovely
Day.
Lovely day.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what he's saying.
I thought he said
Lovely-
Saturday.
No, not Saturday.
Whatever.
I feel
dude.
like Craig's wife would disown him if she heard him call Carl Weathers
I
by
think he
the
just
wrong
he
name.
just said the wrong thing, and it was just I just looked at him. I was like, Bill Withers. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know,
And he was
Gail
like,
Weathers
I was
is
like,
screaming.
he was like,
No
it's too
way.
bad, because he goes, it's too bad about Bill Withers. I go, you mean Carl Weathers? Like, is that where you're going with this? He's like, oh yeah. I was like Bill Withers.
Yeah.
Toby
Let's say-
Keith died today.
Toby
too,
Keith
by the
did
by.
die.
Also dead.
Oh, is that why you? I had no idea that he
Oh,
died.
yeah.
Yes, he died
Cancer.
today.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
had stomach
Yeah,
cancer.
stomach cancer for a while.
Cancer.
Did nobody know?
No, they knew.
Yeah, no, it's been a
But
thing for a bit.
Oh.
he declined and
I
passed.
love this bar. Guys, want to run into some news real quick before we jump into some other stuff, and then tonight's movie, if you want to call it that, real quick.
Oh,
Here we go.
No, here we go. We're gonna.
Whoa.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Listen,
maybe the biggest stinker of all.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop. No,
I kind
there's
of blame
worse.
Matt though a little bit for this too, though.
No,
You had a little bit to do with
let's save
this.
it. Let's save it, and let's get through one
I got
segment
sick.
first here, and then
I
we'll
was
go
busy.
back. We'll go back.
I
So
was like, really, we're watching this?
one of the two. So we have news on two of the biggest neon releases that we are looking forward to this year. First one being Cuckoo. That is got a release date, and it's going to be
Yeah, it's
released
in
in May of 2024. This coming May. That is the movie directed by Hunter Schafer. And so that's starring Dan Stevens, Jessica Henwick, Morton Kosakis, Greta Fernandez, and Jan Bluthart. Wow,
You
those
know,
names
all
are
those
really hard
household
to
names.
say. The
Yeah.
only person out there is Dan Stevens. May
That's a
3rd,
thought.
2024, Neon is going to be releasing Cuckoo into theaters. And in addition to that, I know Matt sent this out to the group last week. We did get a little bit of a teaser trailer for Osgood Perkins' Longlegs, which is the serial killer movie starring Nick Cage.
It's
which,
pretty fucking sick, dude.
Yeah,
that
this-
trailer.
This
rips.
movie's got all the vibes I want.
Yeah.
I better not like. They haven't shown us much, but I bet this movie better not disappoint me because I have such high expectations for this movie for some reason, having seen really nothing.
That's just that's what happens.
It's just,
You
I
just get
want-
high
I
expectations
need
for
it.
things. You get
I
excited.
know.
It's
So
human
this is-
emotion.
It better be fucking good.
We talked a lot about high expectations earlier today in our group chat regarding a certain thing that we might touch on a little bit later here. But Longlegs looking like an absolute banger.
Those movie posters are fucking
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
banging.
cool.
Again, starring Nick Cage and Micah Monroe. How are you? Micah Monroe playing, say that 5 times fast, playing an FBI agent, and Nick Cage playing a serial killer, and said to, quote, be in the vein of classic Hollywood psychological thrillers. So think, Silence of the Lambs, 7 potentially.
I just hope he doesn't fucking overdo it.
Well, Nick Cage.
It'd be wicked funny if
It'd be kind of fine, but it'd be fine, but it wouldn't be as like.
I don't think
over,
the
No,
vibe of the movie doesn't.
Yeah, there's
seem
no way,
like
like, it
there's
can't be-
anything funny
No.
that's gonna.
It can't be. There's no way that he's overdoing it in this.
No.
Because it just wouldn't work unless he, it's Nick Cage. I'm not going to doubt him. The man's a genius.
Yeah.
So
After I saw Mandy, I'm not a big fan as much.
Really,
Mandy was the one that did it for
Yeah.
you, huh?
that's
Wow.
wild.
I didn't really like
Of all
Mandy.
the movies he's in that are insane,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mandy
I didn't really
put you
like
off Nick
Mandy.
Cage.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like he barely speaks in Mandy.
after seeing National Treasure, I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know about this.
I would have said maybe like the remake of The Wicker Man.
Yeah,
That
that's a
was
bad one. That's
Not
a bad one.
bees.
Next topic, guys. You want to hear some casting news for The Last of Us season 2?
Sure.
Here's a big one. Catherine O'Hara of let's see, everything.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice,
Home Alone.
Schitt's Creek, Home Alone.
Best in Show, pretty much all of
She in
Christopher
Death
Guest
Becomes
movies.
Her, am I wrong?
I think
I could be wrong.
so. Catherine Hara joining The Last of Us
Okay.
season 2. What an interesting person to cast in The Last of Us.
I wonder what she's gonna be like. Oh my god, this is on me! Like,
Is Jeffrey Wright going to be in this one too, or no? Is that
I feel like she's going to be
So, go ahead.
quite a diabolical
Right?
bitch.
Haven't
be pretty
heard
cool.
anything about
Yeah.
Jeffrey Wright in
because
The Last
he's in
of Us
the
season
he's
2.
in the he does the game. His voice is in the game.
Oh, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
okay.
Apparently,
I think
she
that's
was
the same.
on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen this past week, and she confirmed that she was going to be taking a role in season 2 of the show, alongside Caitlin Dever, who's going to also be playing a character in season 2.
Cool.
So more Last of Us news. Yeah, cool.
When is that supposed to come out?
Next year,
2025,
probably.
I believe, early 2025 potentially.
I've already lost interest. It's too far away.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
let me know when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like it's like Yellow Jackets. I'm like I'm over that show.
You guys want to hear a
Oh,
couple quick bits of next topic Tim Burton news?
Quick bits?
If you're
Oh, I heard
interested in
remake,
things.
remaking.
So Tim Burton is remaking Attack of the 50-Foot Woman for Warner Brothers. Who was asking for this?
If you want to do this in the vein of Mars Attacks, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Because you could definitely there's a universe where he could do it in that same vein.
Tim
that'd
Burton's
be
gonna
awesome.
be weird, so it's
Like same idea, like just from outer space. And 54 comes out. And it's like,
It's just Helena Bonham Carter, just gigantic.
yes,
I-
It's
exactly.
probably going to be Helena Bonham
yeah,
Carter.
I've had enough of her, but that's fine. I guess that's.
And apparently, the writer of Gone Girl, the novel, is it
Mhm.
Gillian Flynn or Gillian Flynn? I think it's Gillian
I
Flynn.
think
she
it's
wrote
Jillian.
Gillian. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I don't know if anybody's named Gillian.
No,
It's
there
like
are people.
Geoff.
Yeah, no,
There are
it's
people
yeah.
named Gillian.
she wrote
Fuck his name,
she wrote
Gillian.
the Gone Girl.
Joffrey?
She wrote the Gone Girl.
Joffrey, right? That's what it is.
She wrote the Gone Girl novel, and she's writing the screenplay for the Attack of the 50-Foot
Oh, Jesus
Woman.
fucking Christ.
Probably the one that.
What are they, just fucking pick names out of a hat?
Apparently, yeah.
Dude, that's like a Mad Libs. Like make
It's
a
like
movie Mad Libs. style.
The South Park
Throw a bunch of
episode when
people
they
out.
like how they write Family Guy
with the
and it's like a bunch
manatees.
of manatees picking like little balls with words on them. It's like the Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Tim
Burton,
Burton, Gillian
Flynn.
Cool. Let's do it.
Sign it.
Put all the money behind this one, Warner Brothers.
Green light.
starring Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the bigger piece of news, obviously, you may have seen this already on social media, is that they dropped the poster, which contains the title for the Beetlejuice sequel, which is going to be called Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that was
a great title.
That was clever.
Yep, very good.
Oh, instead of Beetlejuice 2?
No,
Instead of
instead of
Beetlejuice 2, it's
Beetlejuice.
called
Wow,
Beetlejuice,
so
Beetlejuice.
original.
Right?
I mean, it's good.
I like
That's
it.
actually a good
Yeah.
idea.
So is there going to be a Beetlejuice?
Don't even think
You
about
never
it.
know. Don't say it. Don't say it.
This is your house.
Mhm.
You want to fucking play that game, dude?
I mean, I'd like
Showtime.
to see a sandworm. Like,
Well,
I bet he would
fuck
too,
around.
dude.
you can
I don't
go
fuck
see
around
Dune
with that.
too. That has sandworms in it.
And they give you that weird little fucking fleshlight popcorn box.
Yeah, right. We were talking about that
I've
the
seen
other
so
day.
many memes for that.
Yeah,
so-
right. It's actually pretty funny with all the memes that are coming out for that. But Beetlejuice comes to theaters on September 6th of this year and is obviously featuring Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, Willem Dafoe, and Monica Bellucci. How are you?
nice.
Monica Bellucci, let's go.
Yep.
Monica Bellucci.
Yep.
Holy shit. I didn't know she was in it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't either, but
Oh,
yes, thank you.
I think she's playing Beetlejuice's wife.
How old is she now?
I don't know. She's an
Still-
irreversible.
She was a Bond girl recently.
Yeah.
Like they were
Oh,
saying
really?
she was the oldest Bond girl ever. Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, she's attractive. Next topic. This is one that of particular interest to me. You guys fans of the Unsolved Mysteries reboot that's been on Netflix in prior years?
With
I really,
Shatner?
really like it. No, not with Shatner. This has no narration, no narrator. It's just stories. So have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's
not,
good.
It's not as like
I got confused though. 'Cause I thought I couldn't remember if he was in all.
He does another Netflix show. It's called like Unexplained, I think, something like that.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of. But it says here, more Unsolved Mysteries on the way from Netflix. Let's see, Volume 4 coming soon in 2024. There are currently 21 episodes of the new series streaming on Netflix.
Yes, Angela Lansbury.
Can we get some more
Not gonna
fact
be
or
in that
fiction?
one.
Can we just get some more of that?
Fact or fiction? I mean, Jonathan Frakes is still alive.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Not this time.
Not this time.
No way. We got you. So Unsolved Mysteries coming back for Volume 4.
I'll definitely watch that. I love crime stuff.
Me
so.
too. I love Unsolved Mysteries, so I'll watch anything they throw at me here. Next topic. Any of you guys, besides Catton, ever watch a show on AMC called The Terror? It's an anthology series.
One season?
Very good.
Yeah.
With just the
There's been 2
Kraken
seasons.
guy thing.
First season was phenomenal. Second season, not so much. First season was the one that was set
It's like the guys that go into the
Northwest Passage.
Northwest Passage.
Yep.
Then the second one.
Second one was about.
I didn't
It
see
was
the second one.
second one wasn't as good. It was about Japanese immigrants in
Yes.
internment camps during
Yes.
World War II,
That was good
That sounds
too.
intense.
being haunted by
Oh,
some
yeah.
sort of spirit. I didn't like
They
that
were-
As
one
if
as
they
much.
don't have enough going on.
Yeah,
Right.
they were
Um,
both very good.
The first season,
Really?
was,
I never saw the second one.
the first season was fantastic.
I didn't
Second
know there was
season
a
was
second one.
I didn't like it as much as Cat did. It was okay, but this one apparently is going to be called The Terror Devil in Silver, and I guess we got a little teaser for it that I have not watched yet. Devil in Silver tells the story of Pepper, a working-class moving man who, through a combination of bad luck and bad temper, finds himself wrongfully committed to a psychiatric hospital, an institution filled with people society would rather forget. There he must contend with patients who work against him, doctors who harbor grim secrets, and perhaps even the devil. So, count me in.
What else sucks is that guy's named Pepper. I feel bad for that guy.
Like Sergeant Pepper
Yeah, Mr. Pepper.
and the Lonely
Mrs.
Heart.
Pepper, Mr. Salt.
Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper.
Mrs.
Hanging out with
Pepper.
Rich too long.
And let's see.
Mrs.
So,
Pepper.
and Karen Kusama, who directed Jennifer's Body and has a lot in Yellow Jackets, is correct the first 2 episodes of this installment. So,
I saw something today that says that Lisa Frankenstein, which comes out
yeah.
Is it the
soon,
same
is in the
universe?
same universe as Jennifer's
Really?
Body.
Yeah, there was a
Okay.
short
Same
one.
director, I think,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
I guess so.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Interesting stuff. So yeah, that's The Terror, Devil in Silver, season 3 coming in 2025. I don't think I mentioned that before. All right, Matt, here's one for you. I'll be interested to hear your opinion. A new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie is in the works. This is an exclusive on Bloody Disgusting.
This is
And
57.
here is the here is the rumor. Okay. Quote, the film is set to explore the seemingly peaceful facade of Oasis Oaks, a gated community in rural Texas.
God damn it, dude.
Matt's
with-
like, really? What?
Within the manicured lawns and vigilant security, a protagonist family enjoying suburban bliss becomes entangled in a harrowing battle for survival as they confront the infamous Leatherface and his macabre kin
Who wrote
on an
this?
abandoned property nearby.
It's
Yeah,
the
that's
most intense description I've
Right.
ever heard. Someone, I was like, "What is this?" Very good though. They
So
Do we have a writer and a director?
no writer, no director that I can
This is
see.
just an
here.
idea.
Apparently,
Actually,
they are.
Mike just wrote that earlier. so
No, I
maybe
didn't
it's-
write that.
no,
I didn't write that.
Very impressive if you did.
They are talking about potentially bringing back David Blue Garcia, who directed the most recent installment that was the Netflix recent one.
Yeah.
So basically, it sounds like Leatherface in gentrified suburban Texas, killing people.
Money me now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I mean, God, like, do we? I'll ask the same
Leatherface is
question.
just at the fucking Dallas Cowboys game.
That'd be pretty awesome.
I might watch that.
I mean,
It'd be better than watching the
Dak
fucking
Prescott just gets a
Cowboys
fucking
lose.
chainsaw.
I mean, Fede Alvarez was a producer on the last one, and that was dog shit. So, I mean, it had its moments, I guess, where it was kind of cool, but it was not a great movie.
Mm.
All right, let's get this out of the way here. So, one thing that we will not be talking about here on this episode is the latest episode of True Detective Night Country, because episode 4, I believe all 4 of us have not seen,
No, I haven't seen it.
which I think is about as much of an indictment as we can give on how slow the last couple of episodes
yeah,
have
we
been.
don't care. I
Right?
don't care. I'm at the point where I don't
Yeah.
care. so.
First couple, I was like, I need to watch it right this second. Episode 4, I was like, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I haven't had the time, and now I'm like, I'd still obviously want to watch it and
You
see
haven't
it
watched
through
it
to the
either?
end. I haven't watched
No.
episode 4.
No, but
So none of us have watched
Yeah,
it.
because
Okay.
nobody cares.
I was gonna watch it today. I ran out of time. I mean, I definitely do.
That was the
see
thing
it.
too. I kind of
We're not in a rush.
It's not-
this
it's not
weekend
my
got away
first
from
option.
me really quick.
You know what I chose to watch over this?
I almost forgot. to
Curb
watch
Your
the fucking
Enthusiasm
movie
just
for-
came out the first
For
episode.
today?
I was like,
Oh really?
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't that.
Well, last night it was like 7 o'clock. I was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck, dude, I gotta
Look,
watch
I
this
didn't watch the
goddamn
movie.
movie."
We were in the
Right.
same boat.
Yeah, we were in the position last night. It's like either watch the movie for tonight or watch True Detective, and I was like, I'd rather watch True Detective, but we ended up watching said movie instead. But anyway, so the 5th episode of True Detective Night Country will be premiering 2 days earlier
So on
than
Friday,
usual
sweet.
on Friday night because of the Super Bowl, the Superb Owl. So obviously they don't want to compete with Super Bowl ratings, which I think is a smart thing for them to do.
I don't think they've ever tried to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think any show has ever tried to do that.
Yep.
Did The Last of Us do the same thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
Last of
remember
Us
that because
did the
this
same
happened recently. Yeah.
Yep.
They all right. So then I might as well just wait and watch both of them Saturday
Back
night.
to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Two episodes left now. Apparently, we haven't seen the third to last episode.
Was it maybe Walking Dead or something that aired like after the Super Bowl one year? I feel like
probably, yeah, because that
some
used to
sort of,
air on
like,
Sunday nights.
Yeah, I think that this like Walking Dead was like after the Super Bowl, like next.
Well, Super Bowl
like,
ends at
Walking
like
Dead.
10.
They also may want to consider too that there is the very realistic possibility that people enjoy shows better when they binge them.
Right.
Because I know for one, if I watch a show
Not me.
all in one, like within a week I can watch it and just be done with. I enjoy it a lot more, I think.
I don't have the time to do that.
Yeah, I don't either.
That's
No, but if you
and
do
then
it,
I don't want to do it.
But I
it's
also
like a task.
not if you're if you're into something though, like if you have the time and you can watch 4 episodes in a row, I will fucking watch if it really connects
But
with
if
me.
you don't have the time, it's hard.
I understand that, but this you could have whether you have the time or not. If they did give it the option of binging the show instead of releasing it one, people are going to pay for fucking HBO anyway. It's an extra it only adds an extra month to their subscription because it's January and February. It would be 2 months. You could just charge a little bit, and just release it all at once instead of waiting 6 episodes. Like if it was 9 episodes, I could see that because then that's 3 months. So you're getting 3 month subscription. No, it makes no sense. Like just release it all at once.
There's our hot take from Andrew.
I would much rather watch it that way. I would maybe be more intrigued by this.
Well, I mean, it is very.
Well, yeah, because you just want to know what's going to happen.
I just want to watch. Yeah, because it's not that good. I just want to finish it.
It's tough to hold your attention for most TV shows. For you, I know. HBO's never going to do that with one of their quote unquote prestige TV shows that airs on HBO and not a straight to HBO Max TV show. They want it in the
All their
conversation.
stuff
Yeah,
does that.
they want it to basically be
and I think it's a bad move.
like the current
I
version
don't
of
know,
water
dude. It
cooler
looks
talk.
like it's worked for them for about fucking
it's-
30 years.
I don't know.
Well, perhaps, but
Perhaps.
Yeah, HBO
This
doesn't ever
show
air
sucks.
an entire series.
I think it would
No,
be. I think
they
it would be
do.
hilarious if when we do see True Detective Night Country in its entirety, if you do a complete 180 and you're like, that was a fucking banger. It was great.
I don't think that's
I mean,
seems
it's gonna have
unlikely
to.
at this point
It's
because
gonna have
I've
to jump
already,
through some hoops. I think.
Yeah,
Well, it's gonna really have to like fucking get some ground.
and I don't
Like,
I don't feel it doing that. It doesn't seem like it's
the only thing, and I've said this is all I've said before, and it's like because even my mom started watching it, and she's like, "Oh, like you must really like this one because it kind of has like a supernatural element." I'm like, actually, I don't, because that's not what True Detective is.
Mhm.
So if that's how it goes, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching the X-Files.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather it just be its own fucking show. Because now you're opening the door for True Detective to just be fucking
Nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
And you're adjusting your expectations because if I go into something and they go, "Oh, it's not True Detective, it's some cosmic horror show,"
Right.
that sounds fucking great. I'm all about that. But if this is supposed to be
that's not what True Detective
I start
is,
watching
yeah.
it, I go, "Well, this is weird.
This
None
is
of
supposed to be
makes any
very,
fucking sense.
very grounded
this
and
gonna-
sophisticated,
Yeah.
and
It's a big,
Yeah.
it's a big no-no.
and it's
Yeah,
like
big
also
no-no,
like you
big
you
no-no.
always have this juxtaposition of like the characters in it, and like these two are the exact same fucking person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like the horrors of the real world are a metaphor for the cosmic horror things they tease in some of the other seasons of True Detective, and this is definitely the most overt supernatural stuff they've done. So
They get a D plus for effort.
I don't think they're going to fully go there.
I feel like they're just taking the best of other episodes and be like, "Oh, we're just going to steal this and use this, and we're going to make it all like some fucking cosmic horror thing."
I'm going to reserve my judgment until I see the end.
Yeah, we gotta finish it, but it's
Yeah.
just so far I'm like not really stoked about it.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I was hoping to like it way more than I have so far, but anyway, that's a different story for a different podcast.
Don't
All right.
forget the biggest piece of news, Mike.
What's that?
We got a trailer for the Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, okay, yeah, actually,
I
one
didn't see it.
So we got a trailer for Winnie the
It looks just
Pooh.
as bad as the other one. It's gonna
Blood
be.
of
Oh,
22.
good.
It's
Wait,
gonna
who's
be
in it?
bad.
Who's in it?
Winnie the Pooh.
Tigger's in it, and
Tigger's in it?
they all look
They show
completely
Tigger?
different. They all look completely
Yeah,
different.
they look a little more ramped up.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Owl's in it, and he looks like a bat. It's weird.
That's kind of cool.
I don't
I mean,
know.
I'll
though.
definitely
It's
watch
kinda
it.
cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad. It doesn't look like it's gonna be any better
Well,
than the
it's,
other one, which is fine.
First one was
So
Cats.
that should be Cat's number
Yeah,
one.
just
movie
a
of the year.
reminder
Yeah.
that the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was Cat's number one movie of 2023. So,
Winnie the
I
Pooh, Blood
forgot.
Honey 2.
Yeah. insane, wild. Guys, last and final topic here before we move on to other stuff. If you would listen to our 200th episode, we did play a couple of voicemails, one of which was from a listener of ours who was from Australia, from down under. I believe his name was Bob Smith. Bob Smith, I believe, asked on his voicemail, what we'd think of a horror movie with a kangaroo kicking your fucking head in, mate. And it just so happens that there was an article I saw in Bloody Disgusting today about a movie called The Red, which is a killer kangaroo horror movie.
God.
There we go, buddy. There you go, Bob Smith.
Bob Smitty. So basically, let me see here. The Red, it's I guess an expansion on a short film. Michael Biehn from Aliens and the Terminator movies, I guess, is in this. And let's see. So this is a kangaroo horror movie. I'm not even going to read the description. Here, let's see, real quick. Obsessed with living up to her dead father's legacy, a young sheriff finds her mettle tested when locals are found ripped to shreds. That's the description of the movie. But apparently, I'm looking at a picture of the killer kangaroo right now. Looks like it's some pretty decent practical effects. Doesn't really look like a kangaroo. It just kind of looks like a big old fucking killer deer. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
what was that awful movie from the early 2000s with the kangaroo and he was like buddies
Kangaroo
with-
Jack
Kangaroo
Yeah,
Jack.
That's
Yep.
with Anthony Anderson and Jerry O'Connell.
Yep.
How dare
Is
you?
this your last bit of news?
That's the last bit of news.
But you didn't want to share any of your other news about the.
I can't talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were talking about
NDA.
Cool. So shout out to Bob Smith from Down Under. Thanks for predicting the future, our friend. Call back and leave us another voicemail anytime. Guys, anything else newsworthy you want to talk about before we move on here? Okay, why don't we pause real quick to pay some bills? We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Watch list stuff, and let's get into this movie and get the fuck out of here. Guys, anyone want to start off with watch list stuff? Anyone have some stuff they want to talk about? I know Matt and I had some
Had some books.
Book
I had
stuff?
one. I watched the Dario Argento
documentary.
thing,
Yeah, that's right.
which was I enjoyed it very much.
Well, that makes sense.
It was very good. Interviews with Gaspar Noé, which was cool. Which dude, every fucking time it goes over him, he has something to say about sex and sexual. I'm like, this guy's a fucking maniac, dude. Which I'd never really watched interviews with him before, so that made me laugh a little bit. I'm like, wow, this guy's out of his mind. But it was cool. So basically, the way it's set up is they're going with Dario, and he writes his movies at a hotel. Like that's his thing. He goes to hotels to write movies, and they're basically taking him to a hotel so he can start writing his next movie, and it just kind of goes from there. And how
That's
he,
interesting.
yeah, and it's just like there's interviews with like his siblings and like people he grew up with and people that have been inspired by him, just about his work and how he kind of started doing what he did. This other thing going through it. It was great. It's worth the watch. Very cool. I think if you've never watched Italian horror or giallos and you've kind of you don't know where to start, it's worth watching, and you can kind of get an idea of like what you'd be getting into before you dive in, because it's definitely a very niche and different subgenre of horror. Like Italian horror itself is one thing, and then giallo is like even more of like another step further down into it. So but it was cool. I enjoyed it a lot.
Dario Argento.
Yeah.
I think I've seen like
Panico.
3, maybe 4 of his movies.
Yeah, he's got a bunch. So
I know, but
yeah.
they're all. It is. You are right, though. It is really. It's a very different.
Mhm.
Like
But they're good.
they're good. It's
Yeah.
just you have to be
You got to be in the mood for
in
it.
the mood because it's
Yeah.
it's almost weird how good it is, but how weird it is at the same time.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I crushed a few books this week. I got Amityville Horror. I listened to on audiobook. Way
that
better than the movie, which I mean that's usually the case. They left a lot of stuff out that's really fucking scary.
Yeah, I think it was budgetary stuff.
it too scary?
Yeah. The
I-
book's
not
pretty
too
scary.
scary,
It would've
but
been
it just
hard
like
to do.
it just would have not no. But like it's just I don't know. There's just like creepy stuff like the Jody is a pig in the book.
They left Jody out big time in
Yeah,
the movie, which
and
is
like that
disappointing.
was really the creepiest part about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I
I love that book. I've read it several times. I've actually listened to it too, and that I told you when you were telling me about it. That book scared the absolute shit out of me when I was a kid. Read it way too young. It's a very easy, quick read too. It's
Yeah,
so good.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Another one I did was I just finished it on the way to work this morning was Off Season by Jack Ketchum. So a friend of mine, I had reached out to her because I know she reads a lot of horror books, and I was like, "Hey, did you read The Troop?" When I finished it, and she's like, "Oh yeah," and then she recommended The Deep, and then kind of gave me this list of horror movies, and she said Off Season, and then the sequel Offspring, which they don't have on audio, so I'll have to buy that one and actually read it.
Bummer.
by Jack Ketchum. So I listened to that one, and that was a fucking absolute crazy apeshit fucking story. Basically, these 6 people, 3 guys, 3 girls, rent a cabin in like Oceanside, near Oceanside, Maine. And they basically just get hunted and attacked by like a tribe of like cave dwelling inbred cannibals.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a very like Hills Have Eyes kind of vibe.
Let's go.
But it is
Sounds up Cat's
off
alley.
season.
That's I was just like it sounds like my.
It's extremely violent,
Off-season.
like out of control violence. Animals get it, kids
Are you
get
aware
it.
it's a book? Right?
Yeah, it's a book.
Yeah, I know it's okay.
I was checking. I don't know why you're writing it down.
It's an audio
Well,
book.
there's-
Are you
though.
going to read it?
Well,
Seems unlikely.
there's a movie called Off Season.
No,
I'm sure there is. But
It's
I don't know
probably
if
not.
the
It's the
same
same
thing.
movie.
Yeah. Super violent, like to the point that it's like laughable. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, but it's insane. And it's funny, there's like an afterword at the ending from the author and he's talking about the negotiations of like editing and being like, I'll give you this boiled head for me being able to like blow this kid's head off of the shotgun, like just like totally fucking over the
That's
top.
a fucking aggressive.
Oh, dude, it's insane. Yeah, it's nuts. So, and then
That's why books must always be better, because they're not putting this stuff in mainstream
Jack
movies.
Ketchum
We're not
has
watching.
he has other horror books. That
Name sounds very familiar.
The new one that I
Sounds
just
familiar.
started today, since I finished the other one, is The Girl Next Door, which was made into a really brutal horror movie in 2007 about like there's like it's like a torture kidnapping thing.
I'll put that in my letterbox.
That's on
Tubi. Is
Tubi.
that the same name? The Girl Next Door, is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, it's not to be
it is.
confused with the
I love that
Alicia
movie. That movie's,
Cuthbert
yeah. Oh.
porn movie, but but the
more porn.
it's on that The Girl Next Door. That movie's on Tubi, and it is fucking extremely brutal and just like rough. It's also based on a true story.
I was
So
like, but not this one either.
yeah,
No,
that's
that's
right.
the one.
That's
That's the one he was
yeah.
talking about.
So
With
it's
Timothy Oliphant.
yeah,
Emil Hirsch
and his
and,
spiked up hair.
yeah. Yeah, I just googled that movie, The Girl Next Door, and it said Google has like a thing they summarize it. It says, in a nutshell, disturbing, cruel, and sinister.
Yeah. So I'm on that book now, and then I finished reading a book called Come Closer by Sarah Grand, which is about a woman and her basically gradual descent into full demonic possession, and it is pretty hardcore. It moves at a fucking breakneck pace. It's a quick read. It's short, and it's aggressive. It's intense. So it's just the way it plays out. I kind of saw it on a thing that was saying like if like books that could be made into like an A24 vibe type movie. So,
Sick.
yeah. So that's the one. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Matt was gracious enough to give that copy of that book to me, so I'm gonna be checking that one out.
Yeah, it's
Will
dude, like
report
super
back.
quick. Like if you have like a full day, like if you had like 3 hours,
Yeah.
you could finish it.
Okay.
New rule. Me and Kat have to at least attempt over the course of one
Year.
season or year to either listen to or read 2 books.
Dude, listening to audio,
I'm saying listen.
I just listen to 2 audiobooks in
Because
one
I
week,
actually can I
dude.
when
Like,
you're
you can
done with
crush
that
audiobooks.
when you're done with that book up there,
I'll give
can
it
I
to you.
read
Yeah,
that?
well,
That looks
as long as
like
it's
I
okay
can
with
read
Matt.
that
I'm
book.
sure it is.
Yeah, you
So,
read it. Yeah.
Here's a.
But then you have to read it afterwards.
Do you have anything else that you want to talk about, Matt? Because this kind of segues perfectly into what they're talking
Nope,
about.
that's all I got.
So I think I talked about this briefly last episode. But I have Amazon Prime, but I'm not a big, I use Google Play Books. I don't use Audible. I know a lot of people use Audible, but Audible they released it around Halloween time. It was an exclusive like series of novellas that were all audio format. And it's 1, 2, 3, there's 6 books in here. They're all about 3 hours long, and they're from some of like the most popular horror authors that are out there today. So 3 of the 6 I have finished. I think it's called like the Creature Feature series or something like that. But so I've listened to one by Josh Malerman, who wrote Bird Box
Yes.
which is a Netflix movie that I really do
Sandra
not care
Bullock.
for.
I liked it.
Movie
Yep.
sucks.
Oh.
Yeah, I hated that.
Oh
I
my
also
God.
listened to
Sandra
one
Bullock
by.
I hate
too.
Sandra Bullock.
I love Sandra
She's
Bullock.
kind of the worst.
She's not the
She
worst.
sucks in Speed. She sucks in The Blind
You didn't like
Side.
her in Speed?
She sucks
What about
in
Miss
general.
Congeniality, Andrew?
You know what it
She's kind of
was?
hot in that movie, but
I-
William Shatner's good in that.
When she was in Crash and she was just so
Oh.
racist, I was like, oh my God, this is like,
Oh, yeah.
she's not even
Yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
I liked her in 28 Days.
I didn't see
And
that.
I don't know if I know that movie.
Is that the pregnant lady? Movie?
No, it's when she's an alcoholic and
Oh.
she goes to rehab and she meets all of her friends in rehab.
Never seen
and
that one.
It's a good movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's
No.
one of those fucked up movies.
She's pretty fucking annoying.
Like
in general.
that's my little.
I find
weird
her and
requiem for
Julia
a dream.
Roberts to be the same annoying.
Mm.
No, not at all. No,
Insufferable.
Sandra Bullock's way better than Julia
the-
Roberts.
That sentence in itself.
Okay,
Aaron
no,
Brockovich
in
is
a
good.
different way. In
Yeah.
different ways. Julia Roberts.
Sorry,
they're
Mike,
both
go on.
totally.
Mike probably
they're both different.
loves Aaron Brockovich.
Why would I love Aaron Brockovich? Yeah, and I'm not a huge Julia Roberts
Big old
person.
boobies.
Pretty woman.
Awesome. So anyway, yeah. So Josh Mailerman wrote Bird Box. I listened to his story. Listened to one by Grady Hendrix, who wrote Horror Store and How to Sell a Haunted House. He's written a bunch of stuff. He's pretty popular.
That can't be
now.
possibly be his real name.
I'm not sure if it is or not. And then I also listened to the one by Joe Hill, who's Stephen King's son. And then there's also stories by Chandler Baker, who I've never read anything by. And then also Paul Tremblay, who's huge. He wrote Cabin in the Woods. Cabin at the End of the World.
Yeah.
Knock at the Cabin, which Cabin at the End of the World was the name of the book. It turned into Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. And there's also one by Jason Mott. I don't know if I know of him either, but a lot of good horror authors in here. And this would be a good thing if you guys did want to delve into like shorter horror stories. This would be the type of thing for you because all the audiobooks are like less than 3 hours long. They kind of fly by. It's good stuff. Some of them, obviously, it's almost like kind of a horror anthology audiobook series.
Can you listen to books on Spotify, or do you have that like separate?
You can get books
think
on
you can,
Spotify.
yeah.
For free?
Well,
Some,
Some, yeah. There's
So
like a
you
lot
have-
of
do you
public
normally
domain.
on audiobooks. You have to pay for them
but they're
Okay,
not
so
like
the-
they're like $11. They're
Yeah,
not crazy.
for a whole
expensive.
book.
Yeah.
That's not terrible.
It
So,
depends on how
yeah.
new the book is too. If it's like a newer book, they're more expensive. If it's older, they're pretty cheap.
I got like a 35-minute ride to work, and then I have to come to Plymouth a few times
It's
a
well
week.
worth it.
So,
Yeah.
and that's also about a 30-minute ride. So I got our round trip multiple different ways, and then I speed it up to like 1.5. So
Just
it's a little
slightly
faster.
I also listen on 1.5.
Just because it's
Boy.
like some of them are so fucking like the way they talk.
Is it
so
too
drawn out.
fast where it's like
no.
No,
okay?
you get used to it too.
1.5 speed is might as well be normal speed for me. Like
Yeah.
normal speed, it's so
It's very slow. Yeah,
It's so slow. It's like I can't. I'm telling you, I can't.
yeah.
I can't.
I had it up to 1.25, and then I bumped it up recently to 1.5. And so I finished that Jack Ketchum book. I think it took me 4 days of driving to work and back.
So 4 hours.
Yeah, and it's a 7.5-hour read.
It's not bad.
So
You cut it in half, basically.
Yeah.
Seems well worth it.
Yes, indeed. So that's what I've been listening to for books. That's the I think it's called, like I said, the Creature Feature. I don't know, series on Audible exclusive. I'll find out exactly what it's called and put it on the episode description, whatever, what have you, etc., etc. Andrew, Kat.
Get a new phone case, Mike?
Nope. I've had that since I got this phone.
Really? I never noticed it. It's very cool. I like it.
My little
The
one
skeleton
skull
there.
guy. Yeah, that's my
I don't
thing.
know. Random.
It's
I was
okay.
like, that's cool. I like that.
It's aight. It's aight. Kat, Andrew, watch anything interesting that you want to report on?
I
Right?
watched Soft and Flaccid.
Ah,
what was
yes,
it?
yes.
Soft and
Okay,
Quiet.
so I'm glad that you did watch this. I know I
Wasn't
talked
Soft
about
and
it
Flaccid.
on last episode.
That's my penis. Soft and
Nice.
Quiet.
What'd
Mike
you
had
think?
watched it. I don't know what this movie was made. I don't know who this movie was made for. It's fucked up and
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and I hate every character in it. I just don't know why I watched it or why I should have. I mean, I get it, but it's like it's just rather uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that's the point of the movie. Yeah, it's supposed
But
to
like
make
too
you feel
uncomfortable.
like, a piece of shit.
who's this for? Because like it didn't like I like uncomfortable movies, but this was like just made me want to. It just made me feel like a piece of shit for not. I didn't even do anything. I just was like, oh no, you're a piece of shit. I was like,
All right.
okay.
I'm gonna add this onto my list.
You should-
Andy
you
feel like
should
a piece of shit.
definitely watch it.
It just
Absolutely.
made me feel like a piece of shit, and I don't know why. And I'm like, is this because I'm white? Like that's literally the reason why. I feel like this movie was so aggressive to a point where it didn't like at least at the end, could we have gotten some like revenge story
Well,
or something?
I would say if you're
good, it was fucking awful.
if you're a white person that acts as some of these people do in this movie,
Ugh,
which you're not,
vile. No, I know, but it still
would-
makes you feel. It's
which
so
I would feel like
brutal.
it's-
It makes
yeah,
you
it's
feel
white
bad.
guilt.
it's
Yeah.
even a slight,
Massive white guilt.
it's even a slight spoiler to say that, because that's kind of like you find out pretty early on. But I mean, it's just like these
It's
guys,
like
they're
3 minutes into the
despicable,
movie.
despicable people. It's the end. I don't know. It just kind of ends, to be honest. But there's also like, I don't know. I don't want to say too much because it is.
I
It's
still gotta
very good
watch
to
it, but
yeah, it's good to watch, and it's interesting and different, but it's not the most uplifting watch. Yeah, I'll say that for sure.
Uplifting? No.
Absolutely
Uplifting,
not.
heartwarming.
And I usually prefer not to watch uplifting movies, but this one, I don't know.
Yeah. So Soft and Quiet. You thought it was okay? Metza.
It was again unimpressive. Is the word I would use. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was decent. It was a movie.
Unimpressive, fine, and decent. Those are three words you don't usually hear coupled
And it was a
paired
movie.
together, and it was a movie. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Anything else besides Soft and Flaccid that you watched, or?
No. I think that was it. Yes, that's correct.
I don't think I did
Okay,
either.
Catherine,
I don't think
anything
I
else?
have any report. I don't
Nothing to
I
report.
thought you said you watched multiple movies earlier, but I guess not.
I watched a lot of Jersey Shore.
That's what it was.
Yes. So I watch a lot of movies every week. Turned into I watch Jersey Shore and a movie.
Yeah,
a week.
I'm just binging when I have
I
time.
can't
I'm just like,
possibly watch other.
it's
come on.
just it's
Jersey
mindless
Shore,
crap. It
9
doesn't-
hours.
it's
Naked
just-
Attraction.
I
I've been
don't
watching
have
Top Chef.
Oh, which
that's good.
episode? Which season are you on?
Whatever, it's like season 15. I think it's the whatever. There's only a couple seasons on.
Do the old
Netflix.
you in terms of reality TV, but it's cooking. It's a cooking show, but it's also like a reality
It's still
show.
bullshit. Yeah, it's like there's still
Dude,
scripted bullshit.
it's really tough to beat for any reality TV stuff like the early seasons of
The
Top
early
Chef.
seasons are
Fantastic.
so good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite few seasons of television like ever. I
Yeah, we've
love
been just
Top Chef.
casually throwing
Yeah,
a couple
Top Chef's
episodes of
great.
that on a night.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
it's awesome. I love Top Chef.
All right, cool. Why don't we take a quick little 90-second break here for a word from our sponsors? We'll be back to talk about Valentine. See you soon.
It's official. The critics' decision is in. Spooky World is spectacular. Enter the new black hole. If you dare. Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200.
It's America's horror theme park, Spooky World.
Sleepy Clovers.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then creep next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
All right, we're back. All right, so obviously we're in February here, and the
February.
February.
I wrote my calendar. I have a calendar on my
Mhm.
driveway's calendar on my office, and I just wrote Feb hyphen Rue hyphen Rary. So I remember.
Airy.
You have an
Rue
extra
Rary.
R.
Well, because I wanted to remember how to spell it.
February.
Because one of my jobs, I had this.
How do you spell it?
February.
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 Right, but
February.
A-R-Y. Okay,
February.
the way you said it made it sound like you had an R-A-R-Y.
Oh,
That's
no.
why I was like,
That's
No.
what I
Right.
kind of did
Extra
say
R
it
in
for a
there.
second, yeah.
February.
But I spell it like I sound it out.
So you're telling me that
I've-
February has an R in the middle of it? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Because I used to say,
The
I just
more
say
you know.
February. But
February.
You read it out as
Feb-
wet.
No, I know there's an R in
Is it
February.
February or
I'm making
February? It's like
fun of
I
this.
say
It's like,
February.
yes, everybody
like,
knows.
I just say it fast.
February.
I
And what's
skip
with this
over the
room?
R.
Everyone does.
What's
yeah.
Right.
with this room?
But I did. So at several previous jobs ago, I did all these like lecture series posters, and it said the date of each lecture, and I spelled February wrong for the entire month. I realized
That's what's up.
until like
Wow.
the very end, and I was like, oh my god. No one even knew. Like no one even caught it. I caught it like way after the fact, and I was like,
They
oh,
probably all
shit.
knew, and they just were being nice.
It's
Yeah.
I posted them all around the building. Like it was
That
don't
ain't
know
helping
if
either.
Maybe I know. No one said anything. No one said anything. So I don't. No one said anything to anyone. No one said like, "Oh, hey, this is spelled wrong." Like no one even said anything. So I
Wow.
don't know if they were just completely overlooked. I don't know.
That's funny.
Well, moral of the story: spell
I
February.
sounded out, yeah.
February correctly. Okay.
Yeah.
And no one
Anyway.
will correct you if you don't.
I don't even know what I was trying to
I
say
would immediately
before
make
that
fun
came
of
up.
them if they did that.
So we're in February now.
You're all fucked.
Fucking Christ, I'm all fucked up now.
Fucked up February. What February?
For
Sorry.
fuck's sake, what do you think about when you think of February? Fucking Valentine's Day. Nobody likes Valentine's Day. It fucking sucks. It's a shitty fucking holiday. It's made up and stupid. Anyway. All right. So Kat wanted to pick a movie this week. And Kat was picking a movie
Cat
called
picked out of a hat.
Valentine for a February movie, right?
Yes.
This is a Cat choice through and through. This is a 2001 slasher film that, obviously right on the line of the end of the 90s and the beginning of the 2000s. This certainly feels like one of the 90s slashers in the vein of like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream to a certain extent, some of the other stuff that came out following Scream that tried to replicate that success and copy that, kind of meta framework. This one doesn't have the meta-ness to it, but obviously you
Why
can
you keep
tell.
saying that word? The meta-ness.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you can definitely feel the influence of those 90s slashers on this film, even though it didn't come out in the 90s. So Kat, you selected this movie.
I did.
Why did you pick it? And what'd you think of it?
I'm a sucker for 90s slashers.
You are.
I remember this. I think the other one I was thinking of was My Bloody Valentine. Is that the guy with the mustache mask
No,
with the hat?
That's Terror Train.
No, it's not. There was
There's
another
Thanksgiving.
one. No, there was
No.
another. There's another Valentine's movie with a different mask that
It's
wasn't
a gas
this.
mask.
Yeah,
No, I'll find it.
It's a
It's some like Shakespeare. It almost looks like a weird Shakespeare kind of mask.
V for Vendetta.
V for that's what it was.
No, that's not a horror movie.
V for
What?
Valentine's Day.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
okay.
First off, it has nothing to do with Valentine's.
Is it V for
Are you
Vendetta? I
fucking?
think it
No,
might
it
be.
isn't. There's not a chance in that with Natalie Portman.
I don't think so. Anyways, all right, I'll think of it.
Why
I'll
didn't you
figure it
say
out
that?
later.
That can't be the movie. You can't.
No, but the one thing I did remember was that one scene where what's her face gets killed in the hot tub with the
Denise.
Girls.
Denise,
Yeah.
yes, Denise Richards.
Denise Richards. Yes.
That was honestly one of the only things I ever think of whenever I think of this movie. Like that's
Probably
the
the best
only
part of the whole movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm like, and I just remember watching this as a kid. I think you said the same thing. I saw it, I was like, Valentine's Day horror movies, and I was like, oh, I remember that when I was a kid. I was like, let's do that.
Yeah, I had to have been thinking of a different movie when we brought it up in the chat because I was like, oh, this movie's actually not that bad. And immediately when it started, I was like, this is not.
This is not
what
the movie I thought
Yes,
it was.
I immediately went, the fuck are we watching?
Oh, dude, yeah.
I
I
was
was,
so mad. I was like, fuck you, Matt. This movie sucks. I was like, this is your fault.
Not my fault.
Then
So-
you're like, I didn't choose. this
Hey, you know
movie.
what? We can still do another Valentine's Day movie next week.
Well,
No.
let's see.
We
Let's
can.
let's get through one terrible Valentine's Day episode before we do
I
it.
was saying,
I have an
if
idea
it's my pick, I already
for the
have
rest of
a
the month
brutal
after
movie.
the. Yes.
So, by the way, when you say you were a kid watching this,
Yeah.
you're a year younger than me. This came out in the year 2001, which means that I was either a freshman or sophomore in high school, depending on when it
And
came
I was
out,
in
and you were in the same
grade
boat.
or
So
So I
she's
guess
a kid.
ninth
technically
grade.
kids. Yes.
Yeah. How old?
Yeah. What do you
14,
think? I'm
that's
an
a kid.
adult.
Yeah. Like I would say, when you say I watched it as a kid, like you watch it when you're like 9 or 10 years old.
No, I think 13.
I mean, I'm
kid.
still
Teenager.
a child.
13.
Like-
13. You're a child.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is, so it didn't come out that long ago.
This kid over here.
This guy, I'm like an old man now.
This did make, believe it or not, kind of a fucking shitload of money back in 2001. Was the 5th highest grossing horror movie of the year.
Was this a Harvey Weinstein production?
So this was a Warner Brothers. So this was Harvey Weinstein is Miramax. So,
Felt like
no.
one of those. but
Yep.
it wasn't.
Yeah, actually, it's certainly, especially, yeah.
That detective really felt like I feel like one of those.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, this movie actually
Yeah,
did
guy's a crumb.
This is
Yeah.
a piece of shit.
definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of did
Yeah.
okay at the box office, despite the fact that it's clearly not the best picture. Not the
You didn't
best
like this movie?
film.
Well-
I was not really a fan. No, I think I
Wow.
thought it was pretty stupid.
Well, wait.
It had some interesting ideas for it. It wasn't like your. Let me put it this way: there were some interesting aspects to it, I don't think they followed through on a lot of them. I think that there were some tidbits of good ideas in there that didn't necessarily make it through to the end.
A lot of tidbits in this episode.
I like that the guy that played Angel in that TV show was actually the Cupid's angel because he had the mask on. He's a little cutie just shooting people with arrows.
Yes.
It was fucking terrible. The worst thing I've ever watched.
I watch bad
Spoiler
horror
alert
movies
for this movie, in
sport.
case you haven't seen
For
it.
sport.
I watch bad horror movies for sport, and this is the worst horror movie I think I've seen arguably in my whole life.
Oh my god. No,
I have to agree. I appreciate that someone else.
This is
I watched it and I went,
This is a really bad
Oh
horror movie.
no.
Dude, none of it made.
Don't get me wrong, it's not the worst I've ever seen, but it is fucking bad.
Here's what I had
Sorry, Kat.
for me. Here's what I had for me
Worse.
personally, okay? Just to
It's
share
okay.
these things.
Sorry.
To its detriment, the dialogue. Absolutely atrocious.
Insane.
Absolutely atrocious. Within the first 5 not even 5 minutes of the
The
movie,
guy
there's
talking
a
in
guy
third
that refers
person?
to himself
Oh,
in third
yeah.
person.
That was really
Oh,
funny.
The guy,
Jimmy
No,
from
Jason.
no, it was
Jason.
Seinfeld.
It was-
Jimmy for the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it reminded me of.
The
Yeah.
Jimmy.
This was
It's the
Jason.
Jimmy.
Jason had spinach in his teeth. He's out to dinner with Katherine Heigl. How are you? Probably the only time she's ever looked good anywhere
She's
ever.
great.
Yeah.
Makes
I
me
like
wonder if
her.
she had a breast reduction, but
The dialogue in this movie was absolutely atrocious. What are you doing tonight? What are you doing?
Andrew's all horn. Look at how ready this guy is.
Seriously.
I was like, I felt like that was an inappropriate joke. That's fine.
She does look good in this movie,
Her
but
tits-
she's probably like 26, 27, 28 years old.
I'm just thinking what everyone was thinking. Like, I didn't realize her breasts were that big.
Okay, I think she looks the same in like.
I don't know.
Nah, she definitely-
Besides red hair.
She looks
She
different.
was-
She's a little
she looked-
perky.
yeah,
A little
she
more
looked younger
perky.
in this
She's
one.
A little more perky.
She's a little bit of
younger,
she had a little bit of
too.
baby fat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was cuter. Yeah.
Hey,
She's a little baby.
Shauno, just
Do what you gotta do with this.
Shauno, do the best you can with this. All right.
I'm just saying.
I think it's everything we said is fine.
It was out
Really?
there, but it was fine.
So, to its detriment, the dialogue. Not to its detriment, Katherine Heigl's rack, for sure. Yeah, she looked good. She definitely looked good. I also had in its favor, and I also, you know what? I'm
To be fair,
I'm taking this back. I had okay, parentheses question mark kills, and they're really the kills aren't that good.
no, there's
No,
one
they're very
good kill.
boring.
The hot tub one.
The hot tub one's okay. The one where the girl gets thrown through what is it,
No.
the glass
The glass
shower and
in
she
the
gets her
shower.
face.
No, that one's not
The
even
one he
good.
shoots her with the bow and arrow.
Yeah,
That one's actually the only good one because at least it's like
There's not a lot of blood.
no. Every actually kill sucks. There's another thing. This movie. Oh, another reason this movie sucks. The kills kind of mediocre. What?
The only blood you get
such-
is this fucking knucklehead getting a nosebleed every time he.
Yeah, which I don't even understand that. And I'm
What's wrong with
like,
you?
is he wearing a mask where there's holes in the nostrils? Is that like a normal?
Well, yeah, so you
I
can
guess.
breathe.
Maybe
That's a
he,
mask.
maybe
It's a
he-
cheap ass mask. I doubt. that
maybe
there's
he
holes.
doctored it up a little
He's
bit.
had the same mask since like
Drilled a hole
1990
in the nose.
because he was a child.
One thing I also had in its favor, and this was 2001. Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna catch some flack from some people, maybe mostly Andrew, maybe Matt on this. I know Kat will be in agreement with me here.
Okay.
The soundtrack for this movie.
I knew you were going to say that. Deftones, yes, we
Yeah.
heard.
Okay,
We heard-
hold
we
on.
heard
Here's what I'm-
Disturbed.
So this was peak 2001 new metal mic mode. This would have been a playlist in my car.
And you know
fucking
what?
driving
First thing
around.
He just
First
made
thing I
it
said,
into
watch-
a
I-
playlist in the
Watching this
car.
movie by myself, I went, Mike's getting a fucking hard
He
on
loves
this
this.
soundtrack. Because there's a Deftones song
Okay.
where they're walking
Well,
through that
and
weird
to be
fucking
fair,
museum.
to be fair, that's the best scene in the whole movie, and probably the most interesting set
It's
piece in the
Deftones
whole.
plays.
No, wait, no, that added to the element, of course, but that's the most interesting set piece in the whole movie is when they're walking through that art display. It's all videos. Like that was at least like
Those
kind of
bones.
interesting. They just killed somebody with a bow and arrow at the end of it, but obviously. When you kick into that with one of the best songs off White Pony that nobody knows about, RX Queen, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, early 2000s, people were playing Change.
Great song. Great song.
People were playing Change all the fucking time. You were hearing, like, My Own Summer in movies, but you hear a low-key, like, deep cut, not even a deep cut for most
No.
Deftones
It was an
fans, but
orgy
like,
song
that.
too.
Yeah, you get RX Queen by Deftones, Opticon by Orgy, hell fucking yeah. There's Rob Zombie on here.
There's a Disturbed song.
Can we
I
just
think.
there's
Disturbed
100%.
song.
Can we just remember too though that Mike that does not make the movie good. Remember
Mike's
that?
No, I know.
like-
Remember
He's like-
I'm trying to think of nice things to say about
Oh.
this movie. That's
It's
what I'm
like
saying.
I hated this movie, but I
But
did add the
soundtrack
soundtrack
was
to my
pretty good.
Not
Spotify
bad. So you
playlist.
get
I'm not surprised by that.
Rob Zombie, Static X, used to really,
Bang.
really,
Bang, bang,
really,
bang, yeah.
really like Linkin Park a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you can like Linkin Park.
Well, Linkin Park was on
Pushing Me Away by Linkin Park is in this movie.
The
It's one
first
of my
two albums of
favorite.
Linkin Park are not.
That's
No, Linkin
one of my
Park's fine.
favorite
I've
songs
never heard
off
that.
Hybrid Theory is Pushing Me Away. That one's awesome. There's some Marilyn Manson on here.
There
Soulfly,
is.
Take a Picture by Filters on this. I fucking love that song. So soundtrack
I didn't even
is a
notice
positive.
that.
Yeah, I
well,
didn't even. That song's played during this movie. I didn't
Yeah,
even hear it.
Like during the credits?
it's a remix. It's a remix of it, so it sounds slightly
I
different.
was like,
It's a live
Um,
version.
Yeah, soundtrack very good. So
oh
obviously,
my god!
like
Wait,
a what?
sorry, off the rails, really quick. One night
It's
I
not gonna
remember
be
Mike
really
and I were Mike and I were sitting upstairs, and I was looking at who was at the Spire Center. Saliva
yeah,
played at the Spire Center
Saliva's-
like a year or two ago,
Probably.
Yeah,
like 2 years ago, and I
now
was like,
they're not new metal.
Played at Pins, so what's the
Saliva?
difference?
They're
"Is
butt
at the
rock.
Spire Center tonight. I was like, oh my god, I kind of wish we went.
Saliva
Like-
is like up there with Nickelback for the kings
But
of
it was
cock
like
rock.
what?
Oh,
it was
like
like
absolutely.
$20
Not even
to
butt
go
rock.
see
Not
them
even
at
butt
the
No, there's a
Spire
difference.
Center.
There's
Booch
a
rock.
huge difference between butt rock and cock
Butt
That's
rock
like-
and
What
cock
about
rock.
Booch Rock?
That's like going to see Fuel
Oh,
at
Butchers,
Pins,
Butchers.
which we did.
which we
Or Buck Cherry at Pins.
which we did.
I tried.
Buck
to,
Cherry
I tried
is
No,
the
Buck
mixture
Cherry
of
didn't
butt
show
rock
up.
and cock rock. I feel like that's
Gooch
that-
Rock.
Buck Cherry
rock.
is they're right in that
Love it.
vein.
Sorry,
Yeah. So
Anyways.
I feel like the
I
you know,
warned you.
you were getting a lot of horror movies around this
Taint
time that
rock.
had a lot of new metal on them, and I know people love to shit on new metal now, and it's kind of making slightly a comeback, which is a good
Limp
and bad
Bizkit's
thing.
coming
Like Limp
around.
Bizkit's touring. I saw Limp Bizkit live at Mohegan Sun a couple of years ago, and I might go see him again this summer.
I
Like
know
a couple years
Yeah,
ago,
Matt
maybe,
also might go too.
like old Fred Durst.
I saw-
with
I
the
saw-
rose-colored glasses.
I saw Matt was interested on Facebook, and I was like, maybe we can go together. So
I'd
yeah.
like to go.
Yeah.
Can I go see Fred Durst?
No, you're not invited.
No. Someone's gonna watch Baby.
Yeah, exactly. No, you can come. Of course, you can come. We'll get a babysitter and we'll go see Fred Durst. And
I want to
Limp
wear
Bizkit.
my baseball hat backwards
Yes,
and be one
absolutely.
of the lucky girls.
You're gonna wear
and walk
your,
around with my
red
beers.
dick.
Like-
Anyway, so yeah, soundtrack pretty good. That's what I'll say in its favor. Also, question here, obviously not to be perverted, but probably one of the biggest, most remembered things. This was kind of the peak of Denise Richards' fame and stardom, right?
I
So-
disagree.
So we were talking about this beforehand, right? So she's coming off a Heater trilogy of movies here, okay, in terms of
It's being
why
a babe.
guys
Being
like
a
her,
babe,
okay,
yeah.
being attractive. Starship Troopers, Wild Things, and then she followed it up by being a Bond girl in The World Is Not Enough. This was, I believe, the next movie she did after The World Is Not Enough. So this is in that same range. This is before she got diseases from Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
as,
so
as
she
Matt
flew
was
too
saying.
close to the sun. Yeah.
So
On the wings of pastrami.
yeah. I mean, I know, Andrew, you said that you she didn't really do it for you that much, but I think there were a lot of
Guy looks like a hyena.
young, red-blooded American men that did it, that Denise Richards did it for back then. And
Yeah,
I mean,
no, she was hot as shit
piece of work
in the
yeah.
90s, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting series of movies coming off of all that and then doing this. But I feel like those movies were interesting enough. Like Wild Things kind of became a cult movie. Starship Troopers is actually a fucking awesome movie.
Starship Troopers does kick ass.
And The World Is Not Enough, not one of my favorite Bond movies, but this I feel like she's just kind of going back into being like, the slasher bimbo type thing.
Wild Things, it's a sleazy movie, but
It
it's
really
it's
is.
a good movie.
It is
It's
a good
not
movie.
it's not bad. So
So-
Matt Dillon, Denise Richards, Nev Campbell.
You notice like the 90s influence that's coming back now when you watch these movies again, like with all of like the kind of clothing styles and the like
Yeah.
hairstyles and stuff. Like all of a sudden I'm watching this movie and I'm like, oh, those like bushy eyebrows are really back in right now. And it's 2024. I'm like, that's weird. And like
it's all the younger kids.
yeah,
but,
it's so weird just watching. Like I'm like looking at all this. I'm like,
Janko
oh.
jeans.
Yeah, it's so
Jinko
it's
jeans,
so
baby.
weird. I'm watching this. I'm like, oh, this is all back.
Get
I'm
your Fago pop.
like, so Mike's gonna get his track jacket soon.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
dress
bring the
like
track
we should all
jackets.
start dressing like juggalos.
Why not?
Underrated Bond girl? Not a Bond girl. Villain. Femke Janssen?
Oh yeah, and Goldeneye. Yeah.
Absolute babe.
Yeah, the one that squeezes
Yeah,
people to
but
death with her
she's
legs.
not- but she's not a
during
Bond
sex.
girl.
Yeah,
She's-
the Bond
she
villain.
blows Denise Richards out of the water.
Femke Janssen.
Yes. She was Jean Grey in the X-Men movies. She was in Nip Tuck. You'd
Dude,
know where
throwing
she was.
fastballs
was-
at a
she
catcher
was-
with no
she
mitt.
was-
She was on a top. She was on a top
Oh,
in
boy.
the Bond movies.
Yeah.
On
Like,
it.
I know the name. It sounds familiar.
She was so hot in those.
Which ones?
In Goldeneye, she was so hot.
Oh yeah. Goldeneye. I feel like that's one of my favorite Bond movies of all time. So yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so yeah, Denise Richards in this movie, amongst other people. David Boreanaz, who at the time Andrew mentioned, he was playing Angel in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Katherine Heigl obviously went on to go be in Grey's Anatomy, which is a show that I fucking despise with every fiber of my stupid being. And yeah, Knocked Up is a pretty funny movie, even though she was notoriously not a fan of that movie after the fact because she complained about it because it made her look like a shrew. I think she's what she said.
Well, I
made
liked
all
her
the
that
guys
movie,
look
so
like,
screw
funny and fun-loving. And I don't know. Yeah, Katherine Heigl's had a lot of weird, like,
I've
late
heard
career
that.
stuff
Yeah.
with, like, people labeling her as difficult.
Yeah.
And I feel like having read a little bit about it in researching this movie, she might have just been a little bit ahead of her time. Because
You
I feel
think
like
Famke Janssen's hotter than Denise Richards?
I don't think Denise Richards is hot at all.
Jesus Christ. All right.
She's not my.
Cup of tea.
I was just saying, Katherine Heigl, she gets labeled as difficult. She might have just been labeled a feminist if she was saying some of this stuff later than she actually said it. So I don't know. I'm going off on whatever. We're just going through Valentine here. So
Valentine.
I have
So,
heard that Katherine Heigl is a nightmare.
yeah,
I have heard that too.
Yeah.
She looks like she kind of would be.
Yeah.
I get that vibe.
the Karen vibe.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Right.
I know that she was like brutal on like what was it, Knocked Up.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
just mentioning.
Which I
yeah.
guess
Oh,
that's
when
that's
the
kind of
hosts aren't listening, I can finally say that
what?
You weren't.
Apparently he
because
wasn't.
he wasn't listening. Because he was just talking about Knocked Up.
Oh no, I was looking up Famke Janssen.
I know, but I can finally say that because I feel like
Sorry.
everyone always says it to me. I had to say it to someone else.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
we're all-
sorry.
we're all
It's-
people.
It's all good. Shit happens from time to
All
time.
right, my overall thoughts.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this movie.
yeah. Go ahead.
Ready?
Go ahead. Sure
I'm
thing.
going.
My overall thoughts are, and I quote per my notes, it's a nice little Valentine's Day slasher to cuddle up with your significant other
Please tell me this rhymes.
and have a I have a few grammatical errors that I shouldn't say
This might be the worst episode we've ever done. Honestly, this
to
sucks.
cuddle up with your significant other with and have a blow of popcorn and a glass of wine too with one
Did
out.
you say a
Blow
blow
of
of
popcorn.
popcorn?
Did you read this at BBC?
No, I wrote it yesterday. I wrote it last night. We were watching it. But yeah, to have a with your significant other, have a bowl of popcorn.
This could
And
technically
maybe
get
a glass
released
of
on
wine.
Valentine's Day.
Actually,
Right?
when did it get released? Actually,
No, I mean
yeah.
like this episode could get released on Valentine's.
It actually might. Yeah. So
It
you know what?
might.
Maybe we can make it so.
So we're talking
Actually,
about,
it's looking like it actually. Yeah, based on what
Yeah.
I've seen.
I thought you were about to
Yeah.
dump out a poem right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do that.
Nope.
Ro-
No, it's not.
no, no,
That's not.
no.
Yeah.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Valentine sucks, and so do you.
Oh.
Oh, that's so
Jesus
mean.
Christ.
That's what I thought of. I'm joking. Good lord.
I was gonna say something funny, like America's Hometown Horror Podcast says
It's just for you.
says boo.
All right. Yeah, we
There you
like
go.
this movie.
That works. That works.
I was gonna say something nice, but you
I
said
think-
you suck. I'm
No,
like,
I was-
wow.
Oh my god, it's a joke. God, I get ragged
I
on.
guess
I get ragged on a
Bridget will
ton
be
on
my
this show.
Valentine. This
God
year.
forbid anybody rags on
Fine.
anybody. God forbid I rag on anybody ever. Good lord.
Mike does get
Yeah.
really jammed
Yeah.
with the worms.
Go wear your
Seriously.
ascot somewhere else.
Okay.
Are we making fun of Mike? Is that what we're doing?
I think the point that you were trying to make, and Matt said, this is definitely not the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh,
There were parts to be
goddamn
enjoyed,
close, dude.
and like I also am kind of
If
a
you said
sucker
that.
for stupid bad horror movies. Like I watched. I wasn't on my phone. I was watching this. I was like, I got to see who this killer is here, and I thought ultimately the ending was a little bit underwhelming.
It just
But-
kind of ends.
It's
It was,
kind of fun.
uh,
Like you, there was
was
the worst
confusion.
time.
No, there's no confusion.
There are
100%
worse.
confusion.
Yeah, that's weird.
What did Lily do? Like Mike, right? You know,
She was in on
Lily,
it.
which one's
clearly.
Lily?
Lily is the final two characters. It's
Okay.
Lily and fucking Angel, and then apparently Lily
Angel.
is the
So
one
you're
with the mask
talking
on.
about Marley
Adam.
Shelton.
Adam.
Is that
actress.
Lily? Is that her name? Lily?
I don't know. The
Lucy?
one that was
Lily?
fat that is
Something?
Dorothy?
Dorothy.
Dorothy is the
and-
one that was.
I know.
Her name's Dorothy.
Yes.
You're close.
And Adam, you're close. No, Lily was the other one that was the curly
She
blonde
looks like
hair.
Lily.
No,
One
no,
of the
she was
same
a different
letters.
character. But Adam is the new guy ish, the older guy that they kind of broke up.
He's the one that's like asking to wear like the girl's underwear and shit, right?
No,
Yeah,
that was the
that was the neighbor.
That was Campbell.
That
No.
was hold on a second. I gotta get the
See,
names
I'm
right here.
confused.
So
Okay,
the
okay, I
main
can do
this.
the main
Dumb white guys.
character, the main girl, Her name is Kate.
Yep.
The actress is Marley Shelton. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She was in Sin City. She's been in a bunch of Quentin Tarantino stuff.
Yeah.
She's the main character. Her pervy neighbor, that every time he speaks to her, he speaks in rhymes when she goes out to look at the elevator in her towel like a crazy person.
That's not the guy that...
He was the one that was trying on her underwear or sniffing her or stealing her underwear when the killer comes in and kills him. So that's who you're thinking.
Yeah,
Yes.
I keep getting confused because it's like three dudes that are... They look
I
exactly the
I just curious if there was two killers.
Yeah.
If it was the little dweeby guy at the beginning, it's Kool-Aid dumped all over.
Well, it was.
Yep, it was him, but
Ultimately.
also it was the fat chick that was underneath the stands making out with him.
So
See, I think they
she
were-
had the
no,
mask
yeah,
on,
they
so
were
either he
working
set
together.
her up
I think he
were-
set her up.
and pushed her down the stairs.
So let me ask you this.
The end of that movie's insane.
What motive?
Makes no sense.
What motive would he have to include her in this
Because
when
they
she
could
was
have
the
been
one?
in on it
cover-up.
because they
Okay,
were...
wait a second. Hold on.
His motive was
Can
to
I
kill her at
fucking finish
the
my
kill her
thought?
at the end.
We're all excited to talk
Jesus
about this
fucking
movie.
Christ, you guys. I forgot what I was going to fucking say now. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, I think that they were both in on it together because maybe they, when she was younger, she said he attacked her, but
Right, that's
maybe
what I
she
was
was
going to say.
secretly
Okay,
still
that's
with
what it
him.
was. No, she
And-
fucking lied and got him sent to reform school and to a psychiatric hospital. So what the fuck, what purpose would he partner with her on this? He probably wanted to kill her.
And he did.
That's actually a good point. Okay.
At the
Yeah,
end,
he did.
he used her as the
So,
scapegoat
exactly.
and got away with it.
So he didn't partner with her.
Yeah, he did.
used
Well,
her
he
as a means
partnered
to
with
an
her,
end.
but used her.
Yes.
At the same time.
Okay,
Yes,
so that's that I
That's
agree
what
with.
I meant.
But
So-
she wasn't killing people in the mask.
No,
that
but
was
she
not
was
him.
very
No.
quick to welcome Campbell into her house because if she was partnering with Adam,
Because Campbell
then
died.
Campbell died because she's like, this is just a piece of meat for me to pin these murders on. I can pin it on him.
Speaking of
but then
pins,
say, no, it's not him because I just started dating him and I don't even know his last name and blah, blah, blah.
put a
So,
pin in Campbell real quick. Continue.
that's why I think that him and her are connected both as killers. And because you can
Yeah.
explain where people are at certain different places.
Yeah,
and
there's two
times.
killers. Just like in Scream, there's two killers. There's
Yes.
two killers in this.
100%. I think they both were killers. But
Disagree hard. So,
I just feel like they did a terrible job of explaining, I don't know, anything.
well,
Yeah, they
maybe
didn't explain
leave it up
just
to
like, oh, nothing.
interpretation,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
isn't
Just
the
him
best, but-
bleeding out of his nose. I'm like, okay.
Campbell, by the way, when I saw the actor come on the screen, I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Saw him what?
Looked him up on IMDb, and he was dickbag in fucking Van Wilder. That's I was like, I know who that guy
nice.
is. Yes. Yep.
He was the biggest douche.
Yes,
yeah, that's
yes.
who it
He's
was.
dickbag
Wow.
in Van Wilder. So
Good one.
yeah, that made me laugh.
But he has such a structured face that the minute that the creepy detective said plastic
We got to talk more about the
surgery-
creepy detective too. So keep going. Sorry.
Oh, we haven't talked about him yet, have we?
No, but the
That's
minute
out of
that
control.
Inappropriate.
wait, we're not talking about him yet. We're talking about this guy. So the reason I said
Campbell?
no, Adam, the guy that what's her face just has broken up with and is not and with
Campbell?
whatever. No, Adam. Jesus. No. So
Campbell?
no, the detective says Adam, whoever. Okay, let's rewind.
It's
Jan.
James.
I'm
saying
Not,
there's
not,
too many
not
dumb
Melton. Not,
characters in
not
this
Jeremiah
movie.
Melton. Or no, what is his name?
The
Jeremy
detec-
Melton? Or
Yeah.
Jeremy Melton.
Jeremy Melton.
But he
It's
says
the other guy.
He says you haven't seen this guy in over 10 years, and he goes to the computer and he's like, he could look like this or like this or like this or like this or like this, and that's without even any sort of plastic surgery. And then you look at this guy and you're like, dude, this guy is just this ogre, very structured face, like man. And you're like, he absolutely
Who,
looks like
Angel?
he's had no Adam. There's no Angel in this.
No,
movie.
he is Angel.
His
You know-
name's
You know
Adam.
the show Angel?
No.
Never. You,
What are you
should
talking
know. 'cause
about?
I've just assumed Kat knew. It's like a 2002, 2003 show. It's for after Buffy. Angel. He's
I
Angel
didn't
from
watch
Buffy the Vampire.
Buffy. I didn't
I've
watch
been
Buffy.
I've
You
been
know
so
this?
confused that every time you keep saying Angel,
Look up
I'm like, what are you
Buffy.
talking
I
about?
don't-
Angel is.
I know-
I can't believe that you
okay.
guys didn't know that. That's wild.
I know of that. I
You
never
should be
watched. I never watched.
I
the
didn't
show.
watch it either, but I knew it because I have.
Some of my friends watched Buffy and probably did the Angel. I didn't. I wasn't
Mike
into any
definitely
of that.
knew.
I didn't. I wasn't into
You know,
it.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show Angel. That guy was from that show, right?
Yes,
Yes.
I know
I
of.
don't
I know of
remember
the show
that
and of the
show.
characters. I feel like when you were growing up in the late 90s
You
or early
had to have
2000s, if you were into that type of genre and you were a guy, you watched the X-Files. If you're a girl, you watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I didn't watch
Or Angel.
those. Yeah.
His
So
stupid face was all over the commercials.
I did.
This was at his prime time.
Yeah, that was a big deal for him. So he was very big at the time this movie came out. He was
Yes, and that's probably why I was like, he looks really familiar. And I looked him up and I was like, oh, but I was like, I don't really know.
He's
I never
in a ton
watched
of shit.
Angel.
He's in a ton of TV stuff.
Yeah.
He was in Bones, that Fox
I've heard of that.
procedural
Like,
show.
I've heard of all these shows. I just haven't.
Bones.
Yeah, watched them.
Yeah. It's always, it's always going to be a good show when the name of the show is one of the main character's last name, or in that case, it's like one of the investigators' nicknames.
Dr. Bones. Is that the name?
They call him
Mr. Big Bones. It's like, what?
I could Mr. Big Bones. There is a reason why. Hold on. There is a reason why. I will find out and I will tell you. But yeah, David Boreanaz. He's been in a ton of shit. He's in he plays a Navy SEAL in some show. I forget all.
Wait, but he actually, I read up on him. I think he was a Navy SEAL.
I don't think he was.
No?
I think he was just in a movie.
Was he?
One, yeah.
All right, hold on. I have to read this name. So before we get off Bones, okay?
Walter T. Bones.
Bones, an American police procedural comedy drama on Fox. The reason it's called Bones, Emily Deschanel, Zooey Deschanel's sister, plays a character named Temperance Bones Brennan. That's why it's called Bones. So I was correct.
Bones.
Temperance Bones.
Temperance Bones. Temperance Bones.
Who the fuck is named Temperance?
So this movie sucks.
Yeah, one of the worst. Probably the worst movie I've ever watched.
Oh, stop it!
It's not the worst movie I've ever
So
seen.
you liked this movie?
No.
It's like a nostalgic
it's a nostalgic thing. It's very much like if I watch what you did last summer.
Oh, trust me, dude.
I know it's
I like
terrible,
shitty
but I
movies.
love it. Like, because I
Pet
know
Cemetery
that I'm just,
2,
like,
sign me up.
I like.
That's actually a perfect segue. And so I agree with what you said earlier, Kat.
It's crappy, but it's nostalgic.
There are worse
You
times.
just kind of feel like you're like, oh my god, I'm watching all these.
Everyone has their own crap that they like to watch.
things,
You like
and
to
you're
smell your own shitty movies.
I watch Jersey Shore. I watch tons of crap all the time. I love crap. It's great.
I would say that there are worse times to be had with your wife or girlfriend on Valentine's Day than watching this dumb horror movie that is equally parts hilarious and also not that great at the same time, but has a good soundtrack. So I would say it's not the worst movie experience you'll ever see in your life.
So are we watching it again on Mel?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm not gonna do that. But, you mentioned, we've been talking a lot about 90s slashers. So this movie directed by a guy named Jamie Blanks, who also directed This Makes Total Sense, Urban Legend from 1998.
See, all right, so I think that's kind of where I got a bit mixed up. Because I liked Urban Legend when I was...
Urban Legend's not bad.
Oh, yeah. Did we do Urban Legend?
We've never done Urban Legend,
We should
which
do that.
I know Kat will pick sometime
Legend
in the
for-
near future.
Maybe in like 6 months.
This
Give you a
movie...
We can do it over the summer
When you earn another pick, you've lost.
I
One pick every
I'm just saying. I'm
6
just saying that you don't get to make another pick for like the rest of the year.
Why?
You're done. Over. You
The
suck.
rest of the
This
year,
movie
it's
blows.
just
We're not watching.
February.
Yeah, and you've already lost your chance. It's over. It's over. You're revoked.
It's not fair.
So the guy that directed Urban Legend directed this. It was originally offered to a guy named Richard Kelly, who turned it down to write and direct another movie that we talked about in this podcast, and I think he made a very good decision, and that was Donnie Darko.
Ooh,
yeah. So he said,
Good
"Hey,
decision.
Valentine, fuck you, Donnie Darko. It is."
Good.
This is based on a novel, apparently, by a guy named Tom Savage. Never heard of him. Never heard of the novel. Made $36.7 million at the box office against a $29 million budget, and was a box office failure, despite being the 5th highest horror movie at the box office of 2001.
Did it make $8 million though?
Yeah, but you need to make.
It's pretty good though.
So basically, I think
You want to make
after
what you
everything-
spend and then some.
Yeah, I think what the
Yeah,
industry
I guess that's
standard
true.
is that you need to double your
money.
production budget in order to, like, I think if you need to double, like, I think that's a production budget. You need to double your production budget to make money back, because there's also like a marketing budget, which I don't think they include. I
So
don't know
when
all
they
the
say they
details.
made $8 million, they didn't really make.
No, they lost
made
money.
dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they lost money.
Because like you would think that would be after all expenses.
Right.
They would say.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why they do it like that, but I don't
To
know.
feel better about themselves.
Yeah, a little bit. Again, this is the type of movie that we're talking about here, and I thought this was pretty goddamn funny. I'm not going to lie. So, Valentine was nominated for 3 Teen Choice Awards. in
100.
I was
2001.
like, T.
2001 was
Okay.
Britney Spears there?
Would you like to hear the awards it was nominated for?
Yes.
First one was Choice Horror Movie, alongside classics such as Urban Legends Final Cut, which won that year.
Obviously.
Antitrust, never seen it. Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows.
Oh, I love
is
that
a
movie.
Fucking
Again,
dumpster
why
fire?
you don't get to pick movies? I don't know why you even never pick movies.
Here's a couple good ones in a row: Hannibal, The Cell, and The Gift.
Oh, The Cell was actually really
The
good.
Cell's underrated.
And The Gift
Pretty good.
was really good too.
You ever watched
actually.
Gift of Cell? I like The Cell.
You're thinking of the newer Gift. This is the one that has Kate Blanchett in it. It's a Sam Raimi produced movie.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That came out in 2001. And then The Watcher. Never heard of that.
Oh, with Keanu Reeves? I kind of
never
like
seen
that
that.
movie.
Yeah, I never seen it or heard of
He's
it.
like a little serial killer guy.
Uh-huh.
Kind of lurks in the
So,
shadows.
so unfortunately, Valentine did not win Choice Horror Movie. It also did not win Choice Movie Your Parents Didn't Want You to See, which it was nominated for.
Which is funny because there's not really any gore or nudity.
No,
in
there's
it.
no nudity in it. Or yeah, I mean, there's some. I guess there's some gore, but there's some. I guess some foul,
It's
some
all
very bad dialogue and outdated language. And it was also nominated for Choice Sleazebag. And David Boreanaz was nominated for his role as Choice Sleazebag in this fucking movie. God. So yeah, that's what we're talking about here with Valentine. Teen Choice Awards here. Not Academy Awards, not Golden Globes, not Fangoria Chainsaw
I can't
Awards.
believe that
Teen
movie
Choice
didn't get an
Awards.
Academy Award.
This is the cheapest movie ever. Excuse me. This is the
yeah, fucking. That's a Freud moment.
Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Freudian slip.
Yeah.
This movie, I should say. Let me think. This I actually wrote it down wrong in my outline.
So
This
natural that
movie
was.
somehow got the least expensive Super Bowl spot ever at $10 million.
$90.
Maybe they
They had a
just
Super
felt. They just
Bowl
felt
spot.
so bad.
Mhm.
They had
They
one.
just
I'm
sent Denise
shocked.
Richards into the
Wait,
Yeah.
So all right. So this,
area.
that actually doesn't
Men.
sound correct to me. I pulled this from IMDb's
Doesn't make
trivia.
any sense.
At a cost of $10 million, this is the cheapest film to ever have a Super Bowl spot. I don't know. We'll just skip it. Katherine Heigl's
Sounds
scenes.
kind of
Yeah, sounds
That's
suspect.
Weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any
Sounds
sense.
so.
Yeah,
That might be right though.
Could be. I don't know.
10 million.
Katherine Heigl's scenes shot in 3 days. Makes sense because she's dead in the first 5 minutes. I guess she was on leave from that show Roswell when she did it. David Boreanaz shot all of his scenes in 2 weeks while he was on break from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I guess, guys, let me ask you this. Kat, Andrew, and Matt, this is for all parties involved, not just the male
Wow.
parties involved here.
oh,
Well, you'll hear why in a second.
okay.
During the original casting process, Tara Reid, who
Gross.
previously appeared in Urban
Mhm.
Legend, was slated to play Dorothy Wheeler, and Jennifer Love Hewitt was slated to play Paige Prescott, who was the Denise Richards role. So I ask you, would it be better with Tara Reid and
No.
Jennifer Love Hewitt?
No.
Yep, because
No.
Jennifer Love Hewitt is a smoke
Well, she was already
Jennifer
in,
Love Hewitt blows Denise Richards out of
the fucking
but she was
water.
already in. I know what you
for
did last
many
summer.
I
different
know.
reasons.
So that's probably why she
Two-
turned it
two
Tara
down.
reasons.
Reid.
I can think of 2 reasons.
So this is obviously Tara Reid before her like boob mishap.
This is probably Tara Reid when she was like around
When she was,
around like dating Tom
Right,
Brady.
yeah,
Tara
right around
Reid,
that
time.
like,
American Pie.
American Pie. Tara Reid.
Literally
I
American Pie.
don't
2003,
think I don't think that they
2002.
either. I think that this was very well cast. I don't think that it would have had the same effect because
I-
they would have just come off of a crazy.
Do you think this movie was a cinematic masterpiece? Then?
No, but I think they would have just come off of
'Cause it
one
sounds
stupid
like-
movie to the next stupid movie, and then all of a sudden you'd make your own scary movie
That's
like by
literally what they
default.
did.
It's just
They
dumb.
made a stupid movie. Yes, they did.
Right, but
Nailed
now
it.
they included more people, so there's more people to make fun
I
of.
think
There was too many. You know what? This movie, there was too many people.
There were a lot.
There was a lot of people. The
characters,
guy at the
man.
beginning that's on the bad day with the spinach's teeth. Like, what are you even doing here? Why are you here?
So Matt,
Are you the red herring? Oh my god.
he was definitely a red herring.
Yeah,
and
There's
Matt,
like 8
Matt
red
said,
herrings. Like,
Matt
how many
was
red
like-
herrings are there?
Matt was like, who was the one stealing underwear? And like, it was very easily to get the neighbor that was stealing the underwear confused with the art douchebag.
Max?
From
Yes.
the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
And the
Wait,
guy at the
Max
beginning of the
was-
art
what
movie.
was-
They all look exactly the fucking
Just a bunch
same.
of fucking basic white.
Yeah,
But
spiky early 2000s, late 90s, spiky douchebag
What
hair.
did the art guy actually
earrings.
have to do with anything?
Nothing. None of them
Nothing.
had any. There's
No.
so many fucking.
It was
dumbass
literally just
characters.
a set piece to put an interesting
Confuse
scene in.
you.
Yeah.
They basically went,
Yeah.
we're going to take everyone that looks like that child from earlier that murdered these people now.
It was an
And then we're going to pick the person that looks nothing like any of them, and he's going to be actually him.
it was an excuse to
He's
play
going
a
to be wearing a
sexy
mask, and
Deftones
he's going
song
to be
and a
bleeding
sexy artist.
out
of
of
it.
the mask.
Yeah.
Probably the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, no, I
right,
have no
better
question.
worse
I have to.
Better or worse than Skinamarink?
Better. Actually,
That
that's
doesn't
really
I don't know,
hard.
dude. Skinamarink had its moments of actually
You'd
being
rather
creepy.
watch. You'd
I
rather
don't
watch
know.
that or this?
I would rather watch this.
I'd rather
than
watch.
Skinamarink. I can't watch Skinamarink. That's not a movie. It's just noise. and
At least
fucking
Skinamarink
things.
was trying to like.
I was more creeped out by Skinamarink than
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. This
I
was a
would be
fun
creeped out by
time, I would think. Skinamarink was not a fun time. It was
I
not a
would
fun
never watch Skinamarink.
This was a
ever
fun
again.
time because I kept going. At
Amy.
some point, someone's going to show a breast, and no one did. But that's fine. So we got that. That was good.
Well,
Good movie.
to be fair, I have to defend Cat a little bit here because we all have different tastes. This is like Cat 101 type movie. Like,
And I did back you up in the chat,
Yes,
but
you
I
did.
was.
But he was thinking of a
He was
different movie.
severely wrong.
I was
That's okay.
misdirected. I
And you
was
guys also
confused.
talk shit about Butterfly Kisses, and that movie's 10
Butterfly
times better than this
Kisses?
fucking.
I did not.
This movie's
No,
Yeah, I
trash
did
it
not
was,
that movie.
compared to Butterfly Kisses. It's
okay.
not close.
It's different.
It's better.
Um,
Better. 10 times better.
Okay.
It's actually a movie.
Yes.
We did cover The Others a few weeks back. Boring Beetlejuice, as Matt called it, which is one of the funnier descriptions of the movie. That
Oh, was that another cat pick?
That was another cat pick. Cat loves
Jeez.
2001 horror. Yeah.
I
Donnie
appreciate,
Darko's 2001 too, isn't it?
even though, okay,
Is it? It might be 2002.
oh, I don't know.
It'll be 2000.
Did Cat
It's,
pick that one
close.
too?
Oh, I definitely picked Donnie Darko.
You absolutely
But,
picked that one.
I was gonna say, at least, you guys, while you're looking at Donnie Darko packs.
Donnie Darko did
2001.
2001.
Wow.
What's going on with you?
I don't know.
That's your third 2001 movie? That
That's
is
Pirates of
At
the
least-
Caribbean.
That's weird.
Is that
It's not
kind
even
of-
intentional. But the fact that I picked terrible movies, it leads to great conversation about you guys all just bashing it. Like, yes, let's just pummel
Let's-
this. And
let's just-
blah.
Let's
Like,
just
I
remember
mean,
though, that's not why you picked it.
I want to.
No, but I mean, my movies, I don't necessarily say I'm going to just smash everyone with this terrible movie. Like, Happy Death Day, we'll say.
Happy Death Day is not a bad movie.
See? Okay. I love that movie. I'm saying,
know what
like,
movie
I
you
don't
picked
love
that I
all,
like?
trash.
And I think I missed the episode. Was that shark one with
Oh, Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
good.
The Shallows?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I was actually pleasantly surprised by that.
That was
I was
a
like,
great
wow, this movie's
movie.
fucking.
yeah.
This movie's hardcore.
Also, I feel like I've been trying to be nice to this movie the entire episode. By the way,
I don't know
you've-
why.
Yeah,
well, you
yeah.
sucked off the soundtrack like you.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
that
a
was
gun to your head.
that was
You've already given this movie too many flowers.
that was most of
And too
the,
many blowjobs.
praise. I'm trying. Yeah,
God.
listen, it's what we all have different tastes. People like different things, and
You
Kat,
don't have to like it. Because
Kat doesn't
I
like worm
picked
movies.
it.
Kat doesn't like weird French
No,
movies. She
I
likes 90s
like
slashers.
Tremors.
You do like
I
a
like
you like a
Tremors.
worm movie. There you go. Yes.
I like Beetlejuice.
That's what makes us all.
We're all
a little
different. That's why we
family.
all
yes.
are friends. So we all have opinions on different things, and we're all.
I guess
Able to
technically
have a
Is
Beetlejuice.
it my
Conversation
pick
about
for
it.
the next movie?
I don't know. We'd have to go back and look.
I don't know.
I did have something I wanted to discuss after
Okay.
said podcast.
'Cause I have a fucking.
We haven't done
Hang
it.
on, I bet you
we,
do.
we haven't done a draft in a while. We haven't done anything besides movies in a while. And
It's
we can
Matt's
talk.
turn
We
to
can
pick.
talk. It
Well,
is-
Matt did say before the year started, he's just going to pick the most awful movies.
Yeah, I'm picking all
And I can't-
hardcore brutal
I
movies
kind of
all
can't
year.
wait for all your picks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I want to be
All right. Well,
hurt.
I was going to say before I brought up the others because that was also a Cat pick. We did talk about some of the other 2001 horror movies that came out that year. So if you want to hear that, go back and listen to the others. Excuse me. Listen back to that. But it's a decent, if not uninspiring, year for horror in 2001. Cat loves that year clearly. But wow, we've been talking about this movie and this topic for almost an hour and a half.
Holy shnikes.
Well, we had a long
lot of news,
precursor.
a lot of news.
Yeah.
A lot of news, a lot of
news,
watches.
Yeah,
a lot of
actually,
things.
we've been going on Valentine for quite a while though. I will
Probably
say.
about 40
Yeah,
minutes.
it's been a good.
Talked about it more than it deserves.
We've been
And
just
the
yelling
little-
about which character is which.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
Who's
and
that
breasts
person?
and breast reductions. And
Mm.
But the hot tub scene, can we talk about that a little bit more?
talk about
I
your
mean,
kill. Yeah, that's
Wait,
your
you were
kill,
talking
right?
about you want to talk about the detective that you never did because he was super.
Oh, I thought you guys
creepy?
might have brought that up when I was going to have a wee. But
I don't know.
yeah, the detective in this, Jesus Christ, I forget
Monster.
his name. Yeah, hang back here. What was Denise Richards' character's name? That doesn't matter. But
Paige.
yeah, Paige. Hang back, Paige. What are we gonna do about this? Well, I don't know. Isn't that your job?
He
as a
was so
detective?
forward. That was
No.
insane.
No.
He was just like
Well, what do
already
you mean?
like.
I
Using
meant
his
this.
privilege.
sexual tension. It's just, oh my god.
I was
yeah,
like, what the fuck?
He also, I've
That's
seen
crazy.
that fucking guy in things.
He's probably in
a
other
billion other things.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, him putting his hand on her leg.
Yeah.
She's like, you can put that somewhere else.
With
Like,
no
would you like
hes-
me to put it? She's like, how about up your ass?
Fantastic.
I was like, nice,
That's
Denise.
dialogue.
Fantastic.
That's dialogue.
Denise. Oh my god, you nailed him with that one.
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Yeah. There's a lot of memorable moments in that movie.
So many. All right, guys. What else on Valentine? Anything else?
No, happy Valentine's
this
Day,
movie.
everybody.
Happy Valentine's.
How does everyone
everyone?
prefer to say it? I say Happy Valentine's Day just to annoy
Well,
people.
If you say
Yeah, so you say it right.
Times
Yes.
Day,
Yeah.
Times Day,
Yes.
then you're a fucking idiot. So
That's
Don't say it.
don't
say
say
it wrong.
Don't say by
You're-
Valentine Times.
I don't say
Valentine's
Happy Valentine's Day to anybody except my wife
Yeah.
and my kid.
Yeah, I'm the only one that says to Kat. So Kat does say Happy Valentine's Day to me.
You
Just want to
haven't
also
murdered
point
her
out
yet?
that
Because I would have.
we've
I'm
now
gonna send
I
a
would
group
have. I would have
text to
taken
everybody.
Valentine's movie.
Kat has now bookended this discussion on this movie, breaking down how to spell and say February, and then also
And now
how to say
Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day. So
Yes.
this has been a really riveting discussion.
February
swung and
is
missed
very
on two
hard
words.
for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
Swing
Saint
and a miss.
Valentine.
It's probably
Not
the hardest
Saint
month of the year for
Valentine's.
me, I think.
Yeah.
February.
Could be
Usually-
Saint. Could be
Well, you
Valentine's.
gotta-
It really is from beginning to
Well, I
end.
know-
If I do dry January, then the beginning of February is just a
If you do,
mess.
wet
Like,
if you do dry January for like 3
I didn't.
days,
I didn't.
then
No,
maybe
I've done
something.
Yeah, you're not hitting five.
You
You're not hitting
didn't
more
come
than.
close
You
to
didn't
doing
even.
dry
You did, it was.
January at all.
It was
Okay,
January
okay.
2nd when you texted me
What are
asking
you
to get a drink,
Okay,
and then you
no,
got
no,
a drink.
no.
So fail.
No,
That's
All
not
right,
it.
listen, nobody wants to hear us fucking yell over each other at the end of this year. Are we good with Valentine? Are we good to go?
We're good at Valentine's
All right, why don't we
Day, yeah.
put a bow on this and get it can
Dry
quit while we're fucking ahead here. All right, well,
Stop making up
hey,
shit.
you know what? Do me a favor. If you've made it through the end of this episode, shoot us a message on Instagram and I
And leave
would
us a voicemail
love-
and tell us what you think.
Tell us
Come
when
on.
you laugh the hardest. Give us a call. Leave us a voicemail at 508-927-1267 and let us know what you thought of the episode. That's what you should do. And laugh along with us about Valentine from 2000.
Or you could just ask Kat, how long into January did you go without having a drink? It should be like a day and a half.
40.
That's pretty good.
I didn't even go 2 days.
Yeah,
But
it's okay.
I have in the past. In the past, I have.
Yes.
That's why I made a Wet February playlist on my Spotify playlist.
Very proud of you.
Wet February.
That's very nice.
After Dry January. It's a
All
dance
right.
party playlist.
Well,
Sorry.
Wet brain.
This has been another episode of America's Hometown Horror that I can't get away from fast enough. My name is Mike. I've been your host. Kat, Matt, and Andrew. Guys, say good evening to your audience.
Good evening. Happy Valentine's
Adios,
Day.
muchachos.
Oh, you loser. Bye.
I gave you like 5 minutes.
I hope you all have wonderful Valentines.
Yes, happy Valentine's.
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and I want to say thanks again for listening to another episode of our show. If you're interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I'd highly recommend you check out the shows from our friends over on the Inebriart Podcast Network. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find shows from Inebriart, the Old Colony Cast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, and Retro Redoctopus, so head on over and give them a listen.